All right, guys. As I mentioned, we're joined now by Houston Dynamo FC head coach Paulo Nagamura. Paulo, thanks for taking a couple of minutes with us. I'll let you finish your drink, but while you're doing that, if you could just give us your initial overall thoughts on the game and how the team played this evening.
Yeah, poor performance. I think we prepared the players to what we believe Minnesota was going to bring, and they brought it. I think they punished us in a transition moment, and just a second soft goal that we conceded in a game. Okay, this is very, very. It's funny that you have 75% possession and we now create enough opportunities to score more goals, and that shows that sometimes possession doesn't say anything. You got to be effective when we have the ball, and Minnesota was today.
Okay, thank you for that. We'll go ahead and open up for questions. We'll start with questions in English. Here in the room, we'll start with Dustin.
Paulo,
Yeah.
you mentioned it a little bit, but 22 shots tonight, just the one goal. Does that boil down to the strikers and midfielders? What do you see after a performance like that?
Yeah, no, it's a combine. It's a combined problem. I think is the right pass, the right moment to shoot, the decision to shoot from 40 yards, crossing when guys are marked. So it's a combine of things. So it's not forwards, midfielders. I think it's a combine. It's a combined issue that we need to fix.
Go ahead, Victor.
This has been a recurring theme this season, Paulo. What do you pinpoint it to? Do you pinpoint it to the quality of the roster? Do you pinpoint it to the effort of the players?
I think tonight it was mistakes that led. It's been, I think, a very common in our games that we commit the mistakes and teams capitalize on our mistakes. I think that's what is being happening, especially in our home games. And when you're chasing the game, you have to commit more numbers forward, and you leave yourself a little bit more exposed. And it plays right into Minnesota's game that it's a transition game. So I think for me, we're not good with the ball again. Even though having 75%, I think we're giving away unnecessary passes, making the wrong decisions on the ball, forcing through the middle where they had three guys. So again, it's a combine issue that, like I said before, we need to fix it.
Follow up, Victor.
Again, just kind of going back to the theme has been the clubs needed a change in culture. You talked about the mistakes, recurrent mistakes. In your assessment, what needs to change still to provide that change in culture?
I think for us, the bigger thing is that we think that we're gonna play at home and it's gonna be easier than playing away. And I think that's the thing that is being happening, and is that we don't come out in our home games with enough urgency, enough energy, enough quality as well to give on other teams. I think we're just passive, waiting that something is going to happen or someone is going to make a play, and that needs to change fast. That needs to change fast because we can't have a 500 record at home. We can't. If we want to make the playoffs, we can't have that kind of record playing at home.
Okay. Any additional questions in English before we switch to Spanish? Okay. We'll wrap up here and then we'll switch to Spanish after.
Just one more. You made a couple of changes in defense. Just wondering your thought process on that. And is there a status update on Tyler Pasher available off the bench? Some people will wonder why he hasn't got an opportunity when there needs to be.
Yeah, look, there's always going to be wonder if I don't play A, B, C, D, or F. I make the change based on the performance of the players on the field and how I can adjust the team tactically to be more offensive. So it doesn't matter that we can have 5 forwards on the bench. We can change the game just putting a center back and an outside back. Right, so don't try to overthink here. I think I made the change based on what the game needed, and I think it had good effect in the second half. We just didn't finish our chances.
Okay, we'll switch to Spanish. We'll go straight to Luis Ortiz here on Zoom. Go ahead, Luis.
Buenas noches, profe. Un partido cerrado, un partido importante también para, como lo había dicho usted, previo al partido, para ser más fuerte en casa. ¿Qué fue lo que le gustó del partido de hoy y qué fue lo que se le complicó?
Mira, lo que me gustó fue que la única cosa, la verdad que me gusta es que este equipo nunca se entrega, siempre pelea hasta el final. Pero como dije antes en inglés, yo creo que nosotros cuando jugamos en casa, yo creo que muchos piensan que las cosas van a ser más fáciles, las cosas van caer en nuestro lap, ¿cómo se dice lap en español? Yo no sé. Y somos muy pasivos. Yo creo que tenemos que cambiar eso urgente porque cuando jugamos fuera, eso que los equipos no hacen a nosotros no hacemos en casa. Pero es una partida muy frustrante, una partida que teníamos chance de estar ahí más cerca del playoff, pero nada está acabado. Ganamos juntos, perdemos juntos y vamos a continuar peleando hasta el último día.
Okay, go to the back here.
Buenas noches, Pablo. Dio la sensación en algunas oportunidades que el equipo, o sea, sobre todo la delantera, dio algún toque de más dentro del área. De las pocas veces que se animaron a disparar desde afuera, pues desde el área, del área pequeña me refiero, de las pocas veces que dispararon desde el borde del área grande, pues anotaron el gol. ¿Crees que tuvieron que ser más agresivos en ese sentido?
Sí, claro. Yo creo que como viste el partido, Minnesota quedó abajo, después que estaba arriba bajó todo el equipo y estaba ahí esperando nomás por un contraataque. Yo creo que cuando hace así los equipos, nosotros tenemos que ser más agresivos, tenemos que movimentar más, tenemos que poner centros y arriesgar de fuera de área. Y yo creo que dentro de esto no hicimos mucho. Yo creo que nuestras decisiones con la pelota no fueron las más correctas, intentando forzar juego por dentro donde tenían todos sus hombres. Pero sí, es una lástima porque cuando está atrás del marcador, eso que los equipos van a hacer principalmente cuando jugamos aquí en casa.
Okay, we'll wrap up with that, Paul. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll bring Fafa in just a second.